What is up, fellas? What's happening? Coming at you guys today with a album review. Today we are going to review the new Pharmakon album, Devour. So, if you're not that familiar, Pharmakon is a post-industrial producer. She specializes in like power electronics and death industrial. And her work has varied throughout her music career. It seems like, in my opinion, Pharmakon's albums are like getting harsher and harsher, which is a great thing. Yeah, she's known for her twisted, scrangled screams and like shrill fucking like shrill synths that like make your ears bleed. Like, and also like her albums have a funny theme of like being really fucked up. Like fucking this album cover is disturbing. It's like the mold of like a person's face that she's eating. Contact, I think that's her like grossest album cover, but I digress. So yeah, she's known for her gross music, and Devour is no exception. First off, we start off with Homeostasis. This is a great and ominous opener. The repeated synth hints, they go like bow wow 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 bow wow wow wow. It's about as groovy as far as death industrial goes. Yeah, the synths and walls of noise set up this like kind of eerie, like evil atmosphere. Like Pharmakon, I guess like I could see maybe stuff off Bestial Burden as being fucking evil, but this song has a really evil and menacing and malicious tone to it. The vocal approach to this album is a little different. She kind of varies it with each album. The vocals on Devour here, they're drenched in reverb. They're kind of gurgly, gargly. I'll get more into vocals later. Yeah. But one thing I will say about the vocals is on this album, I feel a lot more hatred in her voice. Like, this is a very angry sounding album as far as this style of music goes. But yeah, it's a great opener and it gets you pumped up for the album. Then we got track 2, which is Spit It Out. This next track has more of a death industrial feel than the first song. And that's kind of what I consider most of her material is death industrial. The ambience and the revving of the synths keep escalating very unsettlingly. The track is one of her longest ones. Spoiler alert, this whole album is filled with fucking long songs, which is great. But yeah, this song is a little over 7 minutes. The vocals are evil, they're strange, eventually more ear-piercing synths flutter in, and like while the synth drones like wobble and bubble in the distance, there's like this looped crushing feedback that's like that like enters and exits as the music continues to swell. It's a very impressive track by far. Next up, we got the song Self-Regulating System. This song is one of the weaker ones in my opinion, especially opening-wise. It's not because the sound is repetitive, it's because the sound is boring. Like, I don't know. Vocals are on par as usual, same, like, I don't even know how to describe it anymore, just vicious vocals. kind of like drenched in reverb and like kind of muddied up in the mix. But yeah, I just wish there was more chaos and savagery in it. As far as Pharmakon goes, this song is like chill, which I don't look for with Pharmakon, but but yeah, I wish I had that chaos and savagery. Like my favorite kinds of industrial projects are the really violent and fucking intense ones. Um, the song does spice up a bit. There's like a little synth interlude that like it sounds like it's a game of Snake, if that makes sense. It just sounds very angular. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. The very end of the track does have a very intense and harsh close. That's like, I mean, I could see the song like building up to that, and that's supposed to be the crescendo, but yeah, those last moments of the song are literally the only things that save this from being a bad song. But, on the contrary, what if that was like an artistic decision to make it sound all mechanic and machine like? Because the song's called Self Regulating System. Like, I'm interpreting it as like a machine or like something that obviously self-regulates itself. I mean, technically we're self-regulating systems if you want to talk about it anatomy-wise, but I digress. Uh, Next up, we got Deprivation. Now, this song is extremely vivid and atmospheric. It sets a great tone. There's this wobbling feedback loop over clipping chirps and cracks and snapples. Even on the digital version, like I got the vinyl right here. Obviously, there could be cracking on that. But yeah, it's just like, it doesn't sound like vinyl crackling. I'm just like comparing it to that for like, I don't know, point of view. Um, and along with her reverb drenched, blackened screaming, it's just, oh man. One thing I will say is that this is, I think I already said this anyway, I don't care, but this is the angriest Pharmakon album, I think. Like most of Pharmakon's albums have been like more psychologically based, or like both the mental and the physical aspect of humanity, like the darker parts of both those aspects. That's what I think uh Pharmakon embodies. I mean, it makes sense with the album art and stuff, but and even the previous album Contact, I got that on vinyl too. That's a great album, but I don't know, like this is the first time like there's like a foreboding emotion. Before, it's like implied darkness, but this is like literal darkness. If I don't make sense to you, I'm sorry. I have a weird fucking imagination. But yeah, this song is nearly 8 minutes long, and which gives it a really grand and suspenseful feeling. The instrumental keeps weaving and transitioning, sonically melting. More harsh noises of feedback and fuzzing appear later in the soundscape. I like to call it the like what happens at the end of Guillotine by Death Grips. I call it an ear rape solo. That's basically what that part is in Deprivation, an ear rape solo. And her vocals are so feral and primal, animalistic, and they're my favorite vocal styles, like Antichrist Superstar era Marilyn Manson, like Dax Riggs from Acid Bath, like Dead from Mayhem, like William Bennett from White House, like the dudes from Revenge. Revenge have had multiple vocalists, but you know what I mean. Just that pure and like it doesn't sound human at all. There's with each of the vocalists I named, they have vocals that just do not sound human, in my opinion. Maybe the William Bennett thing, he can scream really high, oh well. But yeah, those are my favorite kinds of vocals. Like, death metal vocals, well, with death metal, I'm more interested in the, like, musical standpoint, not like the vocals. Because, I mean, you can only listen to grunting for so long, but what do I know? I listen to stuff that's literally static, so... But yeah, but now we gotta talk about the last song, Pristine Panic / Cheek by Joel. Hell yeah. This monolithic, alive, breathing, 10-minute behemoth is something to talk about, okay? The shrill synths are terrifying, the crushing feedback loops are nauseous, the vocals are putrid, and the beginning of the song had a more spoken word vocal delivery rather than the strangled screams. And I was able to kind of pick apart the lyrics more. I mean, with all the effects and distortion on her voice normally on the album, like, I'd probably have to look up the lyrics myself on these things. Yeah, they came with lyrics, but, you know, it's very hard to describe. I mean, not describe. Well, yeah, describe, because, like, there's too much distortion. It just sounds like noise. But the vocals I did hear from it, they're kind of cryptic. Maybe I'll, like, throw some of my favorite lines in the comments section of this video. But yeah. Yeah, the beginning of the track had more of a spoken word thing, like I said. But eventually those alien insect-eating vocals come back, the ones that have been prevalent on the whole album. It may be over 10 minutes, but every sound and transition is attention-clenching. There are no dull or bland moments. Like I said, it's an evolving, shape-shifting, breathing thing. I won't spoil the whole song, though, because it does get crazier, but, like, I want people to be more open-minded about, like, noise and industrial and shit, because, like, I'm still a newbie to it, obviously, but, I just see a lot in it that I don't see in other music, but I'm just rambling at this point. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe. Pharmakon, you did a good job. Came out with another banger. But yeah, that's it. See y'all.